You ever had a coworker who acts like your best friend, but turns out to be the reason your biggest dream gets crushed? Yeah, I've lived that. And this is how I took my power back and ended his perfect little career. My name's Rachel. I work in IT, and I've been with the same company for a little over 3 years. I'm not flashy. I'm not loud. I don't schmooze with the VPs or hang out by the coffee machine gossiping. I just do my job. I come in early, stay late, solve problems no one else wants to deal with, and I keep the entire system from falling apart. But apparently, that's not what gets you promoted. At least, not in a place like mine. There's this guy, Jake. Oh, Jake. He's the type that walks in 10 minutes late with a smile, makes a couple of dumb jokes, and somehow gets the entire room laughing. He's charming, I'll give him that. But when it comes to actually doing his job, let's just say the guy couldn't troubleshoot a printer without Googling it 3 times. Still, I never had a problem with him. I even helped him out a few times when he messed something up and didn't want management to find out. But that changed when a leadership position opened up on our team. It was a big deal. More money, flexible hours, a voice in decision-making. And I'd been working quietly toward it for over a year. My manager had even hinted that I was next in line, that it was pretty much mine if I wanted it. So I stayed focused, worked even harder, took on the most complicated tickets, trained new hires, managed the entire infrastructure migration on my own. Then, 2 months before the promotion was set to be announced, Jake suddenly started hanging around me more, asking for help with stuff he never cared about before. Hey Rachel, how'd you pull those analytics reports again? Mind if I join you on that client call? I want to understand how you structure your walkthroughs. At first, I thought, wow, okay, maybe he's finally trying to take his job seriously. I even felt good helping him. But now I realize he was copying me. He was studying me like a blueprint. And when the day of the promotion came, we all gathered in the main conference room. I could feel my heart racing. I knew, deep down, I'd earned this. Then the director walked in, smiled, and said, "We're excited to announce our new team lead, Jake!" My stomach dropped. I didn't move. I didn't even clap. And Jake? He walked up front with that stupid fake grin plastered across his face, looked straight at me, and gave me the smallest, most smug little nod. That was the moment I realized. He stole it. He used everything I taught him, every trick, every insight, every system I created, and passed it off like it was all his. He didn't just take a promotion, he took credit for my work. And that lit a fire in me I didn't even know I had. I work in IT. You know what that means? I have access to logs, to user behavior, to file histories. I see things most people don't even know are visible. And the first thing I did was check file access reports. Guess what I found? Jake had gone into my private folders, pulled copies of reports I had written, presentations I built from scratch, process documents I hadn't even submitted yet. He forwarded some of them to his personal email. Clear violation of company policy. But I wasn't done. I started watching him closely. Every time he showed up late, I took note. Every time he made a mistake in a meeting and blamed someone else, I wrote it down. I took screenshots. I saved emails. I started building a little folder I called Justice. Then came the night I'll never forget. It was a Thursday. We were at a company happy hour. I had stayed late to finish a patch, so I got there just as people were leaving. And there he was, Jake, drunk, loud, laughing with a couple of his buddies from sales. I was walking past when I heard it. Man, this job is easy. I just copy whatever that chick does, Rachel or whatever. She's like my free personal assistant. They laughed. He kept going. She does all the real work. I just slap my name on it, throw in a few buzzwords, and they think I'm a genius. I froze. And then I did something I never thought I'd do. I pulled out my phone and hit record. I got all of it, his voice, his words, his face, full confession. And then, things got even worse for him. I found out Jake was using the company credit card for personal stuff, food deliveries, rides to bars. He even booked a hotel during a client offsite, but there were no meetings on the calendar. And guess who had the receipts? Me. Every digital footprint, every charge, every email confirming he'd lied. By this point, the justice folder had turned into a digital weapon. I had every lie, every theft, every little crack in his perfect mask. I could have gone straight to HR. I could have blown it up the next day. But no, that wasn't enough. I didn't want him fired. I wanted everyone to see who he really was. So I set the trap. And what happened next? So I had everything. Proof Jake had stolen my work. Proof he lied to management, abused the company card, and bragged about how stupid everyone was for believing he was actually doing his job. But I didn't want to just get him fired. I wanted to destroy the illusion. I wanted everyone to see the truth. That he didn't climb the ladder, he used us as the ladder. So here's how I did it. First, I waited until our quarterly performance review cycle. That's when every team lead has to submit detailed reports about what they've accomplished, how they supported their team, and any innovations they've introduced. Jake had no clue I was watching, so when I saw the draft of his report, our internal system lets us preview documentation if we're part of the review process, I lost it. He'd literally copied and pasted parts of my old documentation, with just a few words changed here and there. One section? He didn't even bother changing the font. That's when I made my move. I scheduled a private meeting with our HR business partner. Quiet, casual, just the two of us. I didn't yell. I didn't make it dramatic. I just slid my laptop across the table. Before you read this, I told her, I just want you to know I'm not here for revenge. I'm here because this isn't just about me anymore. It's about the integrity of the team. She opened the folder. Inside, a timeline of every project Jake had falsely claimed credit for. Side-by-side comparisons of my files and the ones he submitted under his name. Screenshots of him accessing private folders without permission. Evidence of unauthorized use of the company card, including emails showing he lied about client visits. And the audio, crystal clear. Jake, in his own words, laughing about how he copies that chick's work and gets away with it. HR's face went pale. She didn't even make it halfway through before she asked if she could bring in legal. I nodded. That's when things went fast, like scary fast. Within 48 hours, Jake was called into a surprise meeting with HR, legal, and our department head. He didn't even have time to prep. He walked in smiling and walked out looking like he'd seen a ghost. They placed him on immediate administrative leave pending investigation. But it wasn't just the company looking into him now. He'd committed fraud, sending confidential company files to a personal email, charging personal expenses to a company card. That's not just unethical, it's criminal. And when he tried to lie his way out of it, guess what? They played the audio, every single word. I heard later from someone in HR that Jake went completely silent, didn't deny it, didn't even ask for a lawyer. He just sat there, frozen. And within a week, he was officially terminated for gross misconduct and misrepresentation. But that's not the best part. Oh no, the cherry on top? Since Jake had faked a lot of the reports that leadership had used for quarterly planning, they had to go back and reevaluate every project he had touched. Guess whose work was sitting underneath it all? Mine. My systems, my reports, my ideas. The director reached out to me personally. He apologized, said he should have seen it sooner. And 3 days later, I got the promotion. The one I earned. The one I deserved. And Jake? He didn't just lose the job. Word got around, quickly. Tech is a small world, especially in our city. Every reference request he tried to send was met with polite silence, or a firm, "We can't disclose information at this time." Last I heard, he moved back in with his parents, 2 states away. And honestly, I don't even hate him. Not anymore. I'm just done with people like him. People who smile in your face while stealing everything you've worked for. If there's one thing I've learned from all this, it's this. Don't stay silent. Don't let someone take credit for your light just because they shine louder. You deserve more than that. And sometimes, karma just needs a little push. If this story hit you in the heart, or gave you that quiet little smirk of satisfaction, go ahead and tap that like button. Subscribe for more true stories of betrayal, revenge, and redemption. And drop a comment if you've ever taken down someone who thought they could walk all over you. Because trust me, the best revenge is when you don't just get even, you get ahead.